So, what do you guys think? Did Franklin get his just desserts? Or what do you think? Maybe it was too harsh, or maybe he deserved a fate that was much worse. I think the fate that he got, what he was handed, it was perfect. It was perfect how he became everything that he resented, right? For example, you could see when in the early seasons, he was someone who had this like philanthropic nature as well. He wanted to take care of his community, and also he resented everything that his father was. Right, his father was a drug addict, an alcoholic, and he was absent in his life. Right, and so you could see he wanted to become a better person, but as fate would have it, right, he became far worse, right? He became this monstrosity that preyed on the same community that he wanted to protect and that he was doing everything for. But like what they say, like every villain sees himself as the hero of his own story. So because of that, right, he was willing to go to extreme lengths to acquire what he wanted to possess or what he envied, that life. And so we could say that the end did not justify the means, but in his case, that's how he saw it, right? As long as he was able to acquire as much power as he could. But in the end, like, his gluttonous nature was his detriment, right? It was his Achilles heel. No matter how much money or power that he acquired, it was not enough for him, right? It could never satiate the level of greed that he had. And I truly think that the ending was justly deserved, right? It was definitely right, because if you think about it, right, he lost power and he became what he was preying on, right? He succumbed to what his father was struggling with, those demons, alcoholism as well, and also you can tell that he loses this fight that he had as well, this this drive. And I think how even like his circle, how they treated him as well, it was kind of justified, but we could say, if you think about it, that was kind of extreme, especially like his mother, how she turned her back on him. But I think there's a bit of like what can I say, there's a bit of goodwill in that, right? She had seen how depraved he had become and how he was so lost that his moral compass, it was not in tune as well with his moral compass. We could say, in fact, he had broken his moral compass by then. So I think maybe she thought that her shunning him and not giving him what he wanted the most in his moment of desperation, somehow it would help him to steer back on the right path. But it only led to his downfall, and it even got worse as well. And the statement that he tells Leon as well, that he's free, it's what can I say, it's kind of poetic in a way, that he's free from the shackles of ambition and also from the shackles of how like he was always paranoid in a way, right? Towards the end, you could see, like, for example, how he always had to be on top of his game, and he had to be calculative and everything. And I think that was exhausting for him as well. And he just thought, that the perfect life of him being a bum or just being a vagabond would just be perfect and ideal for him, because somehow he would get this inner peace which he had never experienced, because of always being on edge and always thinking of, I have to make sure that I'm 10 toes, I'm 10 steps ahead, right, of my competition, my friends and everything, and it's kind of sad as well. It is extremely, extremely, extremely sad how him losing that fight as well. You can see it in his eyes, that everything that he prized, and how it's such a, what can I say, it's such a huge difference from when we first get introduced to him, how he was this young kid who was so eager and so driven, who wanted to conquer the world, right? But I guess there's a lesson in this, that as much as you want to better yourself and to improve your life and everything, you somehow have to be content, and somehow that ambition as well, it has a costly price, right, that you pay until, I don't know, you can never foot the bill, because there's always going to be something that you always want, and you're always going to be chasing that. And if you're not careful, you can lose yourself in that race. And just like what Franklin did, Franklin could have gotten out of the game a long time ago. He could have quit if he was content, right? He would have set himself up and gone legit at everything, even though, yes, at the end he wanted to do that. But he always, I think, the thing for him that drew him in the game was the need for power, the need for him to exert himself. That cost him, and in the end he lost that. And I guess him being in a position of power became his key identity, and you could see that throughout. But so what do you guys think? Did you think that was the perfect ending that fit our protagonist, or what? So don't forget to share, subscribe, comment, and stay awesome, you guys.